Thank you. Thank you for having me today here. It is a great honor to be invited to speak at such a distinguished gathering of key players in the global capital market. I'm Fukumoto from Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry. I'm responsible for green transformation policy and innovation policy as well. Under the current Takuya administration, Japan is strongly promoting policies to stimulate economic growth by attracting investment from around the world. In this context today, I will talk about the Japan's GX, green transformation policies, and transition finance in this context. 3 points I would like to outline or highlight today. The first, why GX matters now. The second, investment opportunities in Japan. Then third, the growing market of transition finance and relevant policies to stimulate it. So let me begin with why GX matters. Now, Japan's GX policy, the green transformation policy, aims to achieve 3 objectives simultaneously. The first, of course, the emission reduction or decarbonization. The second, the energy security. And third, the economic growth. So we see such approach gain a significant momentum. So let me begin with the first part. First, we see GX as a key to energy security. As shown in this slide, the share of the fossil fuels in primary energy supply remains high. Of course, not only Japan, but in all around the world, except a few countries, of course. And growing instability in the Middle East and other places has increased energy security risks, given the concentration of energy import sources. So the reducing the dependence of fossil fuel is essential, not only for emission reduction, but also from the perspective of energy security, which highlights the growing importance of GX. Next, we see GX as a key for energy addition. Driven by the global surge in electricity demand from AI and data centers, energy addition, the expansion of supply capacity has also emerged as a key global challenge. The IEA's latest report, World Energy Outlook, stresses that beyond decarbonization, balancing supply capacity with economic growth has become a pressing global challenge. Then GX policy in Japan originated from the Carbon Neutrality Declaration for 2050, declared in 2020. The GX Basic Policy, the GX Promotion Act, and the GX 2040 Vision constitute the core framework of Japan's GX policy. I highlighted here in the red line. Based on the framework, Japan is advancing GX policies with a strong emphasis on policy consistency and predictability for both domestic and international investors and businesses. Next, I would like to highlight the investment opportunities emerging under the GX policy framework. In promoting GX, we identified 16 priority areas as shown in the slide, including materials, final products, and key components and clean energy. Accordingly, 16 sectoral investment strategies have been made. And the government's investment support is aligned with these strategies. And the forthcoming Japan's growth strategy now under consideration for the Takaichi administration, 7 specific sectors have been identified as key products and technologies. These are the examples from the 16 sectoral investment strategies, so it's very consistent. In addition to supporting the individual companies, Japan has also strengthened GX initiatives at the regional level. Specifically, we launched the GX strategic zone last year. Regions are selected under 3 categories. First, revitalized industrial clusters. The second, the data center clusters. And third, decarbonized industrial park, leveraging the clean power sources. Selected regions will be provided with integrated regulatory reform and financial support. We have already received more than 100 applications from municipalities and regions across Japan, and the final designation will be expected in this summer. So how do we promote all GX investment? We have been developing institutional measures from both regulatory and support perspective. This chart illustrates how we structure the whole system. The first, the government of Japan issued the GX economy transition bond up to approximately 20 trillion Japanese yen over the decade to provide upfront investment support. Then we gradually introduce carbon pricing, which aims to create incentives for the first movers or early investors in GX. As for carbon pricing, a full-scale emission trading system, we call it GX ETS, was launched this April with free allocation as a start, and then allowance auctioning will start from 2033. And also, the GX surcharge on fossil fuel supply will be introduced from 2028. The revenues from these carbon pricing measures will serve as a source of redemption for GX economy transition bonds. And also financial support through public-private partnership is an essential part of the system. Transition finance through blended finance plays an important role. To this end, the GX Acceleration Agency was established under the GX Promotion Act to provide financial support to private companies undertaking GX investment to mitigate risks that private financial institutions alone are unable to fully cover. Through these integrated measures, systematically, we aim to mobilize 150 trillion yen in public and private investment in GX. That's a very systematic system we are developing. Finally, I will talk about transition finance. Achieving economy-wide decarbonization requires more than green investment alone. It is essential to support the transition of especially high-emitting or hard-to-abate sectors. Japan takes four-step approach to encourage the flow of private finance for transition. The first, we established the basic guidelines on climate transition finance aligned with ICMA's Climate Transition Finance Handbook. That also covers the loans as well. Second, sectoral roadmaps. The two present concrete transition pathways towards achieving global neutrality by 2050 in high-emitting sectors. These roadmaps are updated periodically, reflecting technological progress and changes in market conditions, especially structural conditions. Furthermore, we have promoted model projects with some financial support to accumulate the best practices of the corporation and developed guidance on financed emission and engagement. As mentioned by the previous speakers, in February 2024, Japan issued the world's first sovereign transition bonds. We call it Japan Climate Transition Bonds. The bond framework was established in November 2023, and alignment with ICMA's Climate Transition Bond guideline was confirmed through second-party opinions. Japan just published the first impact report in this January to enhance transparency and accountability. The report provides quantitative value for both emission reductions and economic impacts for each project. So you can see the impact from the transition bond. Under this framework, Japan plans to issue 1 trillion Japanese yen in climate transition bond in this fiscal year. This Monday, May 25th, we issued approximately 250 billion yen. So we very much look forward to the active participation of all of you here in this market. So supported by these domestic frameworks and the sovereign issuance of transition bonds, the transition finance in Japan's private sector has been growing. While the power and the gas sectors account for the largest share, there is growing uptake of transition finance across a wide range of industries, including chemicals, shipping, and pulp and paper. We expect others follow. We expect this market to continue expanding further going forward. Recently, the need and interest toward transition itself and its finance have been growing internationally as well. Japan, as a country proactively advancing transition finance, will continue to contribute to the development of the global transition finance market, including in Asia. In conclusion, Government of Japan is committed to advance GX policies and play an active role in supporting the global transition to address the challenges the world we are facing. We sincerely hope for your continued and active investment in the growing GX market, of course, to Japan and also to the world. Thank you for your attention.